What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to Tour Junkies After Dark, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm DB. I got Pat Perry. We are the Tour Junkies. It's late at night. We just recorded our own show on Monday night of this, second to last PGA Tour event of 2021. It's been a long season, been a long year. It's the HP Enterprise Houston Open 2021 from Memorial Park Golf Course. We just broke it down on our show. Pat, I got to first of all give you some mad props for touting up Victor Hovland as a back-to-back winner on our show, but also on Tour Junkies After Dark solo edition last week. You know, I leave and you hit winners. So 17-1, a bunch of people watching this, or probably a bunch of people not watching this, we're grinding out, 4 and 5 team NFL parlays for 15 and 17-1 on Sunday. But, here we are, 17-1 Victor Hovland winner. You got it. So props to you, sir.
Well, thank you. I can't say too many people like to go with back-to-back winners, but I thought Hovland could do it, and he did. He did it. So, but on to this week for the Houston Open. We got a good course this week at Memorial Park.
Memorial Park Golf Course, you can get the full course breakdown on DK Sports or DK Nation. You can get it on our podcast channel. While you're at it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you don't mind. Hit the subscribe button. But, we're not going to get into all the details on the golf course. I will say this. It's a bomber's course. It's one of the more difficult courses on the PGA Tour. We've only seen Memorial Park last year in 2020 where Carlos Ortiz took down some big names. Dustin Johnson, Hideki Matsuyama. He took it down at 13 under. Scoring conditions much more difficult than what we're used to seeing on tour, and definitely what we're used to seeing in the swing season here in the fall. So the course is going to play tougher. It's a bomber's paradise. You need to hit the ball a long way here. If not, you better be able to really scramble and putt very well on these grainy Bermuda green surfaces and the Bermuda grass around the green. So scrambling's important, being able to get the ball up and down, because on a lot of these holes, par is your friend. So be aware of that on this Tom Doak design. Like I said, Bermuda through and through, tough course, undulating Bermuda greens with a lot of runoffs and false fronts and all that good stuff. It's only the second year we're seeing it. So it is what it is. Memorial Park Golf Club. Here we go, Pat. Let's get to it. Top of the betting board. I got two names here on DraftKings Sportsbook that I'm looking at. Scotty Scheffler, the University of Texas Longhorn, looking for his first PGA Tour win. He has been oh so close. And he's been close on tough golf courses, major championship golf courses. Scotty Scheffler could get it done. I believe he could do it. He's 18-1 on DK Sportsbook. But my favorite bet in this top few names is definitely Matthew Wolff. It's hard to argue with how well he's played so far this PGA Tour season, this new season. He's done quite well. 5th last week at the Mayakoba, runner-up at the Shriners, the tournament before that for him. 17th at the Sanderson Farms. The guy has been really, really solid since kind of taking a break from golf and, battling through some mental things he's got going on. But he's one of the longest hitters on the PGA Tour, so that helps him out a lot here. And he's actually a shockingly good scrambler. So I think Matt Wolff at 25-1 is a number that you should jump on immediately. Given his skill set and given his recent form, I think Matt Wolff should be the second name listed here on the betting board, just underneath the favorite Sam Burns.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I mean, Wolff has really been playing extremely well lately. I think this is a good course fit for him, so I don't mind that. For me, though, it's Sungjae Im at 20-1. I think, Sungjae's coming off a win just a few weeks ago. This is a perfect course fit for him. Outside of the fact, if you could just add a little more distance to Sungjae, everything else about his game fits for this course. You talk about ball striking, scrambling, putting on Bermuda. Everything about Sungjae's game is perfect for this course. So at 20-1, I think that number is very good for him. And then, going a little bit longer, still staying within 30-1, I think Brooks Koepka, at 28-1, I know that, the narrative with Brooks lately is, look, he's kind of been on vacation at some of these events. His ball striking hasn't been all that good. But I still think, in a field like this, he is one of the better players, here.
Yeah.
He plays tough golf courses well. He played well here last year. Now, I'm not getting into the narrative that he helped with the redesign of this golf course because whatever, I don't believe in that at all. But I still
You don't believe he did that?
no, I believe he did, but I
Oh,
don't
okay.
believe that matters.
Oh,
I don't
gotcha.
believe that matters as far as his play is concerned. But I do think if you can get a Brooks Koepka, further out than 25-1 in a weak field like this, I just have a hard time not betting that number.
Yeah. I'm way more tempted to bet the number on Brooks Koepka at 30-1 than I am to play him in DFS. I mean, I'll give you props again at the Waste Management when he was kind of coming into it in a slump. You talked him up because at 30-1, you just said it's too big of a number for a guy like Brooks, and he won. So I do think it's one of those kind of auto bet numbers with Brooks. The iron play has been very bad. It's been
really bad.
One of the worst runs of his career, honestly, consecutively. Now you can argue he didn't care. You can, and that's definitely a thing with Brooks, but and he does tend to play better on tough golf courses, which is probably part of his input with this redesign. So at 30-1, I don't hate it. I don't think I'm going to play him in DFS though.
Okay.
As we work down the board, two names here further down the board: Aaron Wise at 30-1 and Maverick McNeely at 45-1, both playing very well. And I love both of these guys really, but I love Mav. He finished 20th here last year. Aaron Wise finished 11th here last year, both coming off of, pretty good starts to this PGA Tour season. Aaron Wise for sure has been smoking hot. 15th at the Mayakoba, 5th at the CJ Cup, 8th at the Shriners, 26th at the Sanderson Farms to start his new PGA Tour season. He had a great playoff run. Wise has definitely found something, and he's clicking. Maverick McNeely, 6 top 25s in his last 10 events. He's been in some final groups. He's ready to win. He's at 45-1. I think both those guys come in playing really well, ready to win. And, Aaron Wise's only victory on the PGA Tour came in Texas as well at the Byron Nelson a few years ago. So I think both these guys could go low, and I like the numbers.
Okay. Couple more here that I like. I like Shane Lowry in here at 40-1. He didn't play well last week. A lot of people were on him, but I still think this is a good course for him. So I like Shane Lowry there at 40-1. Seamus Power is a guy we've seen have 2 straight top 15 finishes. He's at 45-1. I think that's a good number as well. And then Jason Kokrak, 50-1. We've seen him. He won on a course like Colonial earlier this year, which is sort of a, tight, like sort of tee to green type ball striking course where you got to have length doesn't necessarily matter on Colonial as it does here, but I still think it's a similar type golf course around the greens and on the greens. So I do think, and Kokrak is just a fantastic golfer. You look at his length off the tee, ball striking, everything else. I like that number at 50-1. So there you go.
Okay. Let's work it down the betting board here. Before we get into the triple digits, I got one last guy. I think Johnny Vegas at 80-1. University of Texas Longhorn. We all know Johnny V pretty well. Finished 44th here at this event last year. Not anything great, but he hits it a long way. His best putting surface is Bermuda. He plays well in the wind, which this place is the wind prediction as of now on Monday night. Looks like it could get a little bit nasty at times.
Yeah.
So I think Johnny V's interesting, coming off of 14th place at the CJ Cup. He's probably the last one that I'm looking at in the triple digits. Anybody else before we get into those big bombs?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, give me your bombs. Give me your final bomb
bombs,
outright picks.
A few bombs for me. I do like Taylor Pendrith again this week.
Yeah.
He was doing perfectly fine in Bermuda, and then all hell broke loose on the last few holes. But I still like him this week. He's at 110-1. He is long off the tee. This is another good course fit for him. So Taylor Pendrith at 110-1, I think is a good number for him. I think he can have another good week. Another couple of guys that I like this week. Harry Higgs is at 130-1. He's been playing well recently. Texas guy, played at one of those SMUs, TCU.
Played at SMU, yeah, SMU with Bryson.
I like Harry Higgs there at 130-1. I think that's a good number. A couple longer shot guys outside of those two. You look at Keith Mitchell, 150-1. I love him on Bermuda grass greens, long off the tee. I think this is a perfect fit for him at 150-1. That's a good number there. And then Hudson Swafford, 180-1. I like him also. So there you go.
Yep, big fan of Swafford, and I like those picks. My favorite one here is definitely Henrik Norlander. Accurate off the tee, one of the top 15 iron players in this field lately. Good scrambler on Bermuda. His best putting surface is Bermuda, and that tends to be what holds him back. And we've seen in the last few months that he's had some chances to contend to win, to get that first PGA Tour victory. He's been in the last couple groups. He's had that experience. I think that's good for Henrik. So I'm with him there. And then I'm going to go super bomb here. Super bomb. Dylan Fratelli at 200-1. One of the longest hitters in this field. Yes. And one of the best scramblers in this field. He just needs to have an average iron play week and an average day around, an average 4 days on the greens. Mm-hmm. And Dylan Fratelli's right there. And he is a PGA Tour winner, but definitely long, definitely good around the greens. I think he's interesting. Let's hit a few top 20s, Pat. Fratelli and Norlander are both some top 20s. They're probably the longest top 20s I want to get to, and that's Fratelli plus 650 on DraftKings. Norlander is 5-1 to top 20. I probably feel the best about Norlander there at that number. But working down the board a little bit, your boy, you mentioned Taylor Pendrith. He's plus 330. I like that number. I like the top 20 number on Pendrith. And then my boy Maverick McNeely and Aaron Wise. Maverick's plus 175. Aaron Wise is plus 140. I like both those numbers at top 20. I think Wise feels like the safest. If you were just going to bet on two of my top 20s, I would give you Wise and Norlander. Wise is a safe play at plus 140. Norlander is kind of a bomb 5-1. That's a long number for a top 20 in a 130-man field event. So that's it for me.
Yeah, a couple for me. I think Hudson Swafford, I mentioned him as an outright. I think at plus 600, I think that's a good number for him to finish top 20. Another guy that I like is, Sepp Straka at plus 500. I mean, he's a guy that I think this is, he's struggled recently, but I think he's coming back.
Coming around. Yep.
Coming back into form a little bit. Top 20, I like. I think that's a good number. Keith Mitchell also at plus 500. Luke List. Luke List finally won people some money a few weeks ago. I said he'd never win anybody any money, but I was proven wrong finally. So if you don't want to take him outright, because he does check a lot of boxes on this course other than putting, I think you take him at plus 500. So 5-1 to finish top 20. I think that is a good number for him. I'm a big fan of that. And then I'll look at one more. I will give you a guy that DB doesn't seem to like. Mito Pereira plus 270 is the top 20 bet.
Hey, I do not mind a Mito top 20 bet. Yeah. Do not mind it.
Plus 270 is a good number there, I think. I mean, think about that. Plus
he's a tremendous ball striker. We debated Mito long enough on our DFS podcast. I won't belabor that one, but I do think that's an interesting top 20 number. I might want to jump on it. So there you go. DK, TJ After Dark, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. We appreciate you guys watching, hanging out with us every single week of the PGA Tour season. It's a long, grueling season, okay? So give it a thumbs up, give it a subscribe, and come back next week for the RSM Classic, our final event of 2022. And may your screens be green. See ya.
Oh.